This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, we will plead temporary insanity. If our hypotheses today sound insane, you will excuse us. It's because some historical facts do not add up. And because Kenyans have a very short memory, we want to piece these facts together. But before we do so, we will begin by stating the following. 1. Raila has served notice that he will stage a coup d'etat on Tuesday, the 30th of January. That on this day, he will replace Uhuru as the legitimate president of Kenya by being sworn in. 2. He has gone ahead and acquired a presidential standard or flag from France and a golden sword from Dubai. These will be his instruments of power as the legitimate president of Kenya. If this were not scary, it would have been funny. In fact, the funny part is the Attorney General warning Raila of treason. This is like warning a man with a gun to your head that if you kill me, I will have you arrested. Not clever.
Raila is holding a gun to our heads, and all we can tell him is that if you kill us, we will arrest you. He has pronounced himself with daylight clarity that he will stage a coup on January 30th. He has asked the armed forces to switch loyalty to him after he is installed as the legitimate president of Kenya. He has told us that after he is sworn in, he will take off to a secret location, that he will form a government in exile. And so I ask a simple question. What about this is not a coup? If it walks like a coup, quacks like a coup, it is a coup. But what is more, we have been warned. And like the man holding a gun to your head, all we have told Raila is that if he kills us, we will arrest you. And the problem with this government approach is this. Maybe there will be no government after the January coup. Maybe the swearing in is just a decoy. Maybe the coup makers of the August election, including Maraga, have some unfinished business with Uhuru.
The coup makers of August are still with us. They were not fixed. They were not dealt with. The government moved on as though nothing had happened. And now, these coup makers are boiling from the underground. They have unfinished business with Uhuru. And what we do not know is whether they are part of the January coup by Raila. What we do know, however, is this. Once a coup maker, always a coup maker. For instance, Maraga told us that he cannot stop his judges from swearing in Raila. And by saying so, he gave his judges license to participate in the January coup. The question we ask, therefore, is this. Is the swearing in the new vehicle for the coup that was started by Maraga last year? Our hypothesis is that the Maraga ruling was a work of political engineering. The political end state of this ruling was going to be a caretaker government with Maraga as its head. And the question we ask is this. Is the dream of a caretaker government still alive? Is this what the swearing in is about? Is it meant to create a state of national upheaval that can only be resolved by the military and a caretaker government? Is this the plan?
Now we will pose some direct questions to Raila. Did he tell us that he will not swear himself in like Kizza Besigye of Uganda? Tick. Did he tell us that he will be sworn in the Zimbabwe way? Tick. And that in Zimbabwe, the military installed the new president? Tick. Did he tell us that he possessed leaked documents from the military before the election? Tick. Did the then military spokesman, Colonel J.M. Owoth, confirm the leak? Tick. If Raila will be sworn in the Zimbabwe way, rogue elements of our armed forces will install him. It's that simple. And if Colonel Owoth was working with Raila, then we must give Uhuru a simple observation from Sun Tzu on the art of war. He said, the public can tell the condition of a whole army from the behavior of one soldier. And if there is insubordination with one soldier, there is insubordination amongst many more. And the question we ask is this: is Raila executing the January coup using rogue soldiers and rogue judges? And why we ask this question is because Uhuru is too trusting. But in politics, only the paranoid survive. He must become paranoid.
As a young lawyer, I'm beginning to take an interest in political science. And as Harold Bloom taught us in his book, The Lucifer Principle, in politics, goodness attracts nothing but evil. And this is where we must give Uhuru Kenyatta a story. Once upon a time, a scorpion asked a frog to help it cross the river. The frog was hesitant, but because it was good-natured, like Uhuru, it finally agreed. However, the frog gave a single condition to the scorpion. It promised to carry the scorpion so long as the scorpion did not sting it. And to this, the scorpion agreed. The two started crossing the river. But midstream, the scorpion could not control its urges. It stung, and stung the trusting frog. Before the frog died, it asked the scorpion, Why did you do it, Mr. Scorpion? And the scorpion replied, I could not help myself. It is just in my nature. Like this frog, Uhuru has trusted a cabal of scorpions who look like Maraga. These scorpions will sting Uhuru for trusting them. And the January 30th coup will be the starting point. Uhuru must revisit as promised.
Uhuru's cabinet does not need analysis. It speaks for itself. It is a work in progress. This is why we must be honest with the president. We must tell him that so far, and as a work in progress, the cabinet is good because it is not bad. It is a work in progress. But to make it better, Uhuru should consider sending all the 22 ministers to Parliament for vetting. Because he controls Parliament, this will give him a window to adjust the cabinet to what he needs if it is a work in progress. But in the process, he should drop some of his nominees without blinking. And I say so because Uhuru is on a lonely path and he should only follow his own purpose. He should give the public the contempt card and whatever the public thinks about his cabinet so far. But on Raila, Uhuru should show him no mercy because Raila will show him none. If Raila is planning to do a coup on January 30th, all security should be withdrawn from him and his colleagues. All firearm licenses they hold should also be cancelled and their firearms confiscated. Their passports should also be taken away the way Moi used to do it. And they should be paralyzed in such a way that they have no way of operating. They should actually be put on house arrest, in my view. If Uhuru is not as drastic as that, Raila will force a caretaker government. A zero option.
And now, our final thought. You can't fool all of the people some of the time. And you can fool some of the people all of the time. But you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. Raila has fooled us that he is doing a swearing-in ceremony using a nonsensical instrument known as the People's Assembly. But what he is doing is a civilian coup, executed in broad daylight, little by little, through the back door. This is why we must ask a question. We know that Raila is staging a coup. He has told us the date and the venue. He has told us he will do it the Zimbabwe way, that the military will help him. And Maraga has released the judges to swear him in if they want to. The question therefore is this: why hasn't Raila been arrested? Why are elected leaders referring to him as President of the Republic of Kenya? Is this not treason? The longer we wait to deal with Raila decisively, the harder it will be to stop him. If Uhuru does not stop him after January 30th, then a caretaker government will be inevitable.